Stacey. Welcome to the kitchen of my old Kentucky home. Today on Bourbon and Biscuits, we're going to be cooking up breakfast, Kentucky style. We'll be making cheese grits served with a Kentucky sunrise. Let's get started. For our cheese grits, we will need 3 cups of whole milk, 1 cup of heavy cream, 1 cup grits, 1 cup shredded Parmesan, 2 tablespoons of butter, and a half teaspoon each of salt and pepper. Grits are a common staple on many Kentucky breakfast menus. The recipe that we're going to do today is just a slight modification of one of my favorites, a Louisville restaurant by the name of Jack Fry's. They actually serve theirs as a dinner entree with shrimp and grits, but my family loves them for breakfast. This is a very easy recipe. The first thing we're going to do is take all our dairy, the creams, milk, and butter to the stove and bring it to a simmer. Then we'll add the rest of our ingredients. Okay, right when our dairy comes to a slight simmer on the stove, we're just going to add in our cup of grits. These are nice, locally milled. And then I just set the timer for 10 minutes. We're going to bring this to just under a boil, and we're going to just stay with it this whole time, stirring pretty frequently. And then when these start to set, the last thing we're going to do is add our seasonings and the cup of Parmesan cheese. Okay, you've really got to watch this, like I said, and stay with this. It's such an easy recipe. Really, it's just stirring. But I had said 10 minutes, and this did not take 10 minutes to set up to this consistency. And if you grew up on grits like I do, you will just know this consistency. It's kind of like if you were to eat maybe cream of wheat, it's gonna not stream completely. This is the exact right consistency that we need, and it came in about 7 or 8 minutes. And the last thing we're gonna do right before you serve it is add the cheese and your seasonings. Now I've got a half of each of this salt and pepper, and of course you want to season to taste. And then, of course, hot sauce is always an option. So we're going to take this and plate it. We're going to fry up some country ham to go with it, and we're going to join Jessica as she makes us a Kentucky sunrise.
Well, since Stacey made grits for the morning, we're going to do a breakfast cocktail today. So I'm going to be making a Kentucky sunrise. So essentially a tequila sunrise, but of course with whiskey instead of tequila. So you're going to go ahead and build this cocktail right in the glass. We're going to do 1.5 ounces of this rye whiskey we have. And then I'm just going to pretty much fill up the rest of the glass with orange juice. You don't have to measure that precisely, kind of just depending on what you're making your cocktail in, because we want the final effect once we add in this grenadine, which we're going to do 3/4 ounce of the grenadine. We're going to kind of slowly pour it in so that it settles into the bottom and isn't mixed in really well, and that's what makes it look like a sunrise. So a good way to do this if you're trying to layer a cocktail is to pour it over the back of a spoon when you're pouring it in. It just kind of keeps it neat. There we go. And we don't want to stir that up. We'll leave it like that. We're just gonna garnish this with an orange wheel. It's a very pretty Kentucky sunrise. Well, Stacey, it's fun to mix it up and do a breakfast episode this time.
I agree. It was a lot of fun, and I love this sunrise.
And they're so pretty, too.
They are. They are.
I know I grew up eating grits, and it's a Southern thing for sure, but is there more of an origin story?
Well, there's not a specific Kentucky version of the origin story like there is just for the Southern canon. Mm-hmm. However, I think the connection to bring it a little closer to home is, boy, we sure know what to do with corn, right?
Yep. Don't let it go to waste, that's for sure.
Right, so it's a Native American product, literally, and the English settlers named it, however. It was an Old English word for course meal was grit, and they spelled it Grytt.
Okay.
And it's just become with it.
Never even thought about why that was called
How
grits.
about that, right?
Yeah. Well, I think that they paired perfectly with this cocktail too. It's a good way to start the morning.
I agree.
All right, so we will see you next time on Bourbon
And Biscuits.
Cheers.